Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another one here on the channel. In today's video, I got a good one here for you because we're talking about a mistake with connectors that I don't want you to make. Now we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna talk about exactly what that is and some of the issues that come out from that particular choice within the hobby. And then what we're gonna look at is an alternate as to what we can do and why we want to do that. Let's get started and talk about that connector mistake. Now, the one thing that you don't want to do and you want to avoid is using adapters similar to what I have. So if you're using these types of connectors here, these are my AS150s. I really like these connectors because you can do quite a bit with them. I've done videos on them in the past, and I'm going to show you an example here very shortly. And if you have battery packs that come with these style connectors, and this is very typical like this, a lot of batteries come with the EC5 connectors. And what I see guys and asking me about is it okay to go from my EC5 into an AS150 or an alternate connector because the plane doesn't contain that, or the radio controlled car does not have that already soldered on the speed control. Now we're going to dive into exactly what you get from this decision, some of the drawbacks, and specifically in this video, we're talking about the power systems that demand a high amount of power. Let's start off and talk about exactly what we're going to see when we add in a connector adapter such as the one that I showed you. So the adapter itself is just simply adding resistance, both in the immediate connection that we make, that is going to be our first EC5 connector. You're going to have resistance built up in this connector. You're also going to have resistance, of course, built up in the wire itself. And then you make the connection that you would otherwise typically have. What that results in is a loss of power. You're going to be down on power, especially when you're pulling upwards of, in this particular case, if I'm pulling more than 100 amps, that would be considered as one of those higher demand radio control vehicles, and somewhere around maybe 150 to 200 amps under acceleration. Now we've done tests here on the channel, and we know that when we go from an EC5 to an AS150 connector, there is a massive amount of difference in the amount of heat produced. That connector, the EC5 specifically, cannot handle a 100 amp discharge for an entire duration of a pack. It has the ability to get upwards of 80 plus degrees Celsius, and all that heat built in that connector gets transferred down the battery wires and into your battery. That's the number one reason why I wouldn't want to have a connector that is getting excessively hot. Another point here is that the adapter itself creates yet another failure point within your overall power system. Every time you add a new link within your power system, you're adding another point where if that fails, you're going to be down on power. If you were using an adapter in your radio control airplane and something went wrong where power were to disconnect because of that connector adapter, your plane is on the way down and there's probably limited control that you're going to have. You certainly won't have your main battery power, so hopefully you have a backup BEC or an onboard radio battery that's going to supply power so you can get that plane back to the earth safely. If not, it's going to end up in something that we all don't want to see. We talked about power and how this is going to affect your radio control vehicle's performance. Is it's largely going to remove your top speed. So the biggest difference is every time you go and place an adapter in there, your top speed just got lower. And that's because the amount of voltage that is actually reaching your brushless motor is going to be lower by whatever voltage drop those connectors are eating up on you. So the top performance of your radio control vehicle is, of course, reduced. And the last point that I want to bring up here is that the adapter itself can increase the ripple voltage to your ESC. It is always a good idea to not extend the leads from your electronic speed control to your battery. And the reason is because this thing that we're calling ripple voltage. I got a couple videos on the channel that you can search for to find and understand that if that's a topic that you're interested in. And how do we know this is happening? Well, I use this as an example here. I took this from an electronic speed control, one that had already failed. So this actually comes with that BEC that we're talking about. So we would have separate receiver power if we were to lose the main battery pack. But if our connection adapter is after this, we actually lose that too. So something to keep in mind. But when it comes to this ripple voltage, what we're dealing with is extended amounts of length. If you're especially extending this a little bit further beyond this, you're going to have an extension which can increase the amount of ripple voltage. How do we know this is a problem? Well, ESC manufacturers put in this capacitor pack. This is not going to dump power into your electronic speed control to make you go faster. This is here to take out the fluctuations. Why? Because fluctuations within the original capacitors that are found on the electronic speed control are not big enough to handle all the extra wire that is used in these higher powered radio controlled systems. And as a result, if you don't put that capacitor pack in there, the FETs on your ESC don't like changes in voltage, and if they see that rapid change of voltage, then you could destroy them, thus ending the life of your electronic speed control. So when you really look at these high powered systems, it is never a good idea to increase the risk of ripple voltage, especially if you don't know what it is. Now, I've seen even radio controlled electric ducted fan jets right from the factory coming with these big long leads, and they didn't have an extra capacitor pack built on them, and the electronic speed control melted down in air, and I do strongly believe it is because of this exact thing. So guys, we don't want to be putting an adapter on there if we're not compensating under these high load, high stress power systems without having that capacitor pack to help take that away. So what do we do instead? Well, the obvious and the easiest answer here is whatever your electronic speed control is using or what you plan to use, that's the same connector set that you should be putting onto your battery packs. I take every single one of my batteries. This is a great example I have here in front of me, and I place these connectors on them right from brand new, and then I can use it with my electronic speed control. I never use adapters simply because of all the things that we've talked about. It might seem convenient to use these adapters, but when you standardize your entire radio control fleet, my radio control boats, planes, and cars all use the same AS150 connectors. The other connector I use is the XT60. Those are my two choices depending on the size of the radio control vehicle. Otherwise, I will not use anything else, and I always have to make sure that I'm standardizing this when batteries come in, moving them towards the correct connector. The other thing that you can do is give this some thought. You know, you don't have to go down this line, but I certainly would say that this is a way to help you out. Sometimes you might find that you want to go from 2 battery packs. Here we have a 2 battery pack series connection adapter, and what this offers us is the ability to use 2 batteries that come with the EC5 connectors, and then they place those 2 batteries using this adapter in series, and this goes to the AS150 connectors. Now, I use this specific adapter for a test that we did here on the channel under load, and you can check out our results here if you are a member of the radiocontrolinfo.com website, where we do a bunch of battery tests, and all the results are there for you to download. Now, instead of doing it this way, what I'd recommend is doing it in a different way, and especially if you choose the connectors and you're comfortable with doing this. So in this situation, what we do is we can take the connectors that are directly applied on our battery pack, and we can actually take one battery and plug it into the other battery. Now you can see what I've done here is I've placed a white electrical tape on 2 of the wires. Why? Because the one thing that we have to make certain that we're never going to do is plug the same battery into itself. This is the disadvantage. Every time you do something here, there's going to be an advantage that you get out of it, and then there's going to be a disadvantage of it. If this is not for you, don't do it. You can stick to your connection adapter, but what I would do is make certain that instead of the EC5s here, all around you would have the same connector as AS150s. Otherwise, you are going to be limited to the weakest link. In this case, it's going to be your EC5 connector. Because I don't have any additional adapters being used or series connection adapters, I am eliminating the extra resistance, and I'm eliminating the opportunity to build more ripple voltage here in my ESC. So a lot of advantages of doing this, but the one thing you got to make sure is that you don't plug the 2 leads, the incorrect leads, into each other. Otherwise, bad things are going to happen. And the last condition, if there's nothing else that you can do and your only resort is to use an adapter because of whichever reason, what I'd be doing is monitoring the temperature in your connections and making certain that that heat does not travel down the wires and towards your battery. You'll also want to check the temperature of the battery in order to ensure that that is not happening. If your power system is more along the lines of a low to mid-tier system, you're probably in better shape. In this situation, I would still recommend to monitor and make sure you don't have any heat issues, and to make certain, if you can, that you don't have any ripple voltage issues. If you are extending the leads of your ESC by a certain amount, what I'd recommend is to make certain that you look into adding a capacitor pack, like the example that we've shown here in the video. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on adapters and what you can do as a substitute if you find yourself in this situation. As always, like the video if you do. Don't forget to hit that sub button, and also don't forget to check out the radiocontrolinfo.com website. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.